Let's get right into it. We're going to paint a picture, a scenario that, let's be honest, probably feels a little too real if you've been in crypto for any length of time. The whole point here is to build a blueprint. But this isn't just about surviving. No. This is about turning a full-blown market crash into an absolute wealth creation machine.
So picture this. It's January 2026. You pull out your phone, open your portfolio app, and that feeling, your stomach just hits the floor. It's just a sea of red. Bitcoin is down, and I mean down hard from its all-time high. And the altcoins? Oh man, they're not just down, they are completely wiped out, decimated. All that euphoria from just a few months ago, it feels like a joke now. Like some distant, really foolish dream.
Of course, the headlines are going crazy. Crypto is dead, again. Every single person who jumped in at the top is panic selling for their life. But here's the secret. While the herd is stampeding for the exits, there's another group, a smaller, quieter group. And they're not running, they're getting ready. See, they understand a core truth that most people miss. A bear market isn't the end. It is a massive, generational transfer of wealth. And the goal of this whole explainer, it's to make sure you're on the receiving end of that transfer.
So really, it all boils down to this, a simple choice between two paths. On one side, you've got the impatient. They're running on pure panic, raw emotion, just following the herd right off a cliff. And then, on the other side, you've got the patient. They're armed with a strategy. They're using logic. They have a plan before the chaos hits. And that's what this is all about. This is your blueprint to get from that first column over to the second one, for good.
All right, let's kick things off with our first section, Anatomy of the Flush. Look, the only way to beat fear is to understand what's causing it. You have to know why the market is crashing. And trust me, this time, it's a whole different ballgame.
Okay, so this is super important to get. Think back to 2022. That crash was all about systemic failure, right? We're talking outright fraud, shady stuff from companies like FTX and Celsius. But 2026? Nah, that's not it. This is what we'd call an institutional flush. It's happening because, 1, institutions that bought the ETFs took massive profits, and 2, the wider economy is tightening up. The key difference is this. It's a reset. It's not a total collapse like before. The system is just flushing out the leverage.
And that actually leads us to this huge new safety net that we've never had before, what I'm calling the institutional floor. Think about it. You've got giants, literal giants, like BlackRock and Fidelity, deeply woven into the fabric of crypto now through the ETFs. They're not just going to pack up and leave. They provide this structural backbone that just wasn't there in the last bear markets. So, this isn't a fragile house of cards anymore. It's more like a solid skyscraper, just, getting its windows washed very, very violently.
All right, moving on to section 2, and this one is crucial, winning the psychology game. We've talked about the what and the why of the market, the mechanics of it all. But honestly, the real fight, the real battle, it's happening right between your ears. This is like 80% of the entire game right here.
So this is the tug-of-war going on inside your head, right? You have your lizard brain, that ancient primal part of you, and it is just screaming, sell, get out, make the pain stop. But your job, your entire mission, is to silence that voice and listen to your investor brain. That's the part that's calmly saying, hey, you know all that stuff we loved last month? The future we were so excited about? Well, it's all on sale now, a huge sale.
And all this struggle, this psychological battle, it eventually leads you into a place I like to call the boring zone. See, a bear market isn't this quick dip and a fast recovery. No way. It's long. It's flat. It's boring. It's specifically designed to wear you down, to make you so tired of waiting that you just give up and sell. But you have to understand, this zone, this period where nothing seems to be happening, that is exactly where the quiet, patient money is being made. It's where generational wealth is built.
So here's a huge mindset shift you need to make right now. Stop trying to time the exact bottom. Just stop. It's a fool's game. Nobody can do it consistently. Your new goal is way simpler and way more powerful. You're just going to methodically build an amazing average entry price. That's it. A price that in 2 or 3 years, everyone else is going to look at and be unbelievably envious of.
Okay, enough with the theory and the psychology. Let's get down to brass tacks. Time to get tactical. Section 3, building your dry powder. This is your defensive playbook. This is how you prepare your ammo for the battle ahead.
I mean, it sounds so obvious, right? But it's the #1 rule people break. You absolutely cannot buy the dip if you have no money. All the opportunity in the world means nothing if you don't have the capital to seize it. And that's what dry powder is all about. It's having that cash that stablecoin reserve, on the sidelines, just waiting patiently to be deployed.
But we're not just going to let that cash sit around doing nothing. We're going to put it to work. But we're going to do it safely. Just look at this comparison. You see those crazy 300+% APYs from some brand new, unproven protocol? We're not touching those. That's degen yield, and it's how you lose your dry powder before you even get to use it. Our goal here is simple: capital preservation. We're going to take our stablecoins and park them in battle-tested, blue-chip DeFi projects like Aave, or maybe some audited real-world asset platforms. The goal is a nice, safe, modest 5 to 8%. That's it. We're preserving our ammo, not gambling with.
So, our defenses are set, our dry powder's on the sidelines, safely earning a little bit of yield. Now it's time to go on offense. Section 4, the Strategic Accumulation Plan. This is your blueprint for what you're going to buy and how you're going to buy it.
Okay, one of the biggest lessons from every single crypto cycle is that market leaders rotate. Let me say that again. Market leaders rotate. The coins that were the superstars of the last bull run are almost never the ones that lead the next charge. So we're not just going to blindly buy back the popular meme coins or metaverse projects from 2025. No, we're looking ahead. We're trying to figure out what the big stories, the big narratives are going to be for 2027, 2028. Things like AI infrastructure, tokenized real-world assets, maybe DePIN. That's where the real opportunity is. So what's the actual tactic for buying? We're going to use something much smarter than just regular old dollar cost averaging. We'll call it DCA 2.0 or dynamic DCA. Here's how it works. You decide ahead of time where your buy orders will be. For example, you say, okay, if my target asset drops 10%, I'll deploy 5% of my dry powder. Then, if it drops another 20%, you deploy a bigger chunk, maybe 10% of your cash. See the pattern? Your buys get bigger and more aggressive as the price gets cheaper and the discounts get deeper.
And the absolute beauty of this system, the psychological genius of it, is that it takes your emotions completely out of the picture. Think about it. When the market starts to tank, you're not going to panic. Why? Because your preset plan is kicking in, a plan you made when you were calm and rational. It totally flips the script. You actually start to hope for red days because you know it just means your buy orders are getting filled at prices you dreamed of.
When you strip it all away, success in a bear market really just comes down to these three things: patience, knowledge, and execution. Look, these crashes are supposed to be uncomfortable. They are designed by the market to shake out all the tourists, the people who showed up late to the party with no plan. But for you, for the person who has the patience to wait, the knowledge to see the opportunity, and the discipline to actually execute the plan, this isn't a disaster. It is the sale of a lifetime.
So, I'm just going to leave you with this one final thought, this one question to ask yourself. When that day comes in 2026, when your screen is bleeding red and everyone you know is losing their minds and panicking, what are you going to see? Are you going to see panic? Or are you going to see the exact opportunity you've been patiently preparing for all this time? Ultimately, the choice is yours.